Everyone, this is my cultural presentation by Leif Miller. So in my cultural presentation, I'm going to be going over Mexico. In the presentation, I'm going to go over some of Mexico's cultural and what foods they eat and what foods are big in Mexico. Okay? So, and then I'm also going to go over how they cook certain foods and really good ingredients that they put into their food that makes it taste really good. So, what is their cultural like? Mexico's culture is very unique. It is very vibrant and colorful, with lots of music. They play all kinds of instruments that make wonderful sounds and just add to the party to get everybody kind of in the right mood for the party. They celebrate a lot of things like Dia de los Muertos to remember the dead, all kinds of parties and big events. And then with these big events they come up with, they need all kinds of food so that people aren't hungry and that. So um, the foods that they bring, they can range from small to big foods, enough to feed a lot of people. So some main party foods. Big party foods are a huge part when it comes to big events and parties. So some main party foods are some slow cooked beef brisket tacos, big chunks of beef, kind of put on a tortilla right here. It looks very good. Another one is slow cooked beef brisket tacos, chipotle chicken tacos with jicama masala. It's like a salsa. Grilled flank steak tacos, sweet potato wrapped black beans enchiladas, chicken quesadilla cake right here. It has a couple layers of chicken. Looks very good. Fresh peach and walnut salsa. Mexican street corn. It's very good. You can find it a lot of places. And there's mucho mas. Okay. So, and then I'm going to add some interesting facts. So, some interesting facts is that all vacas or cows are fair game in field. So if you see a cow out in a field and you need some meat for a meal, you can go kill them and have meat for dinner. They eat less red meat than any other country. So everybody in Mexico kind of stays away from red meat. And yeah. So tomatoes originated in Mexico and they are the biggest producer out of most countries. So, and then what is really interesting is traditional guacamole doesn't involve garlic or lime, so they only use avocados and just simple salt and pepper, stuff like that. And then margaritas were invented in Mexico. And then this one's weird. It's tortillas came in cans, so you had tortillas in a can, and if you wanted some tacos, you just pop the can open. Okay, so in Mexico there are many popular foods ranging from corn to huge plates of food. So some popular foods are elote. It's corn that's coated with a lime and mayonnaise kind of. It's pretty good. Alambre. It's a fine cut piece of meat mixed with vegetables put on it and on a tortilla. So it's kind of like a taco. Goyeta is cheese that is made from cows' raw milk. So they get the milk out of the cow and then they just make cheese out of that. And then they make frijoles charros. It's beans, onions, tomatoes, and chili peppers. And it makes kind of like a soup. Looks pretty good. Okay, so some really interesting foods that they have. So Mexico has some really delicious foods, and they can have some really interesting foods as well. So some interesting foods they have are pie de elote. It's cream pie made with corn inside of it. It's right here, and it looks very good. It's another one is cochinita pibil. It's a large piece of pork cut up and marinated in a chote paste. It's right here. It's a big chunk of meat. And then pambazo. It's a bread that is hard and soaked in red chili sauce and is used for tortas. It's a Mexican kind of sandwich. Looks very delicious. Okay, so some popular ingredients that they mostly use. So Mexico has a lot of fresh and delicious ingredients that they use to make their foods taste great. So some popular ingredients include tortillas de harina or maize, aguacates, tomates, nopal, queso, mucho carne, y mucho más. So it's tortillas, avocados, tomatoes, cactus, which is an interesting one, cheese, and many kinds of meat, and much more. So those are some most ingredients they used. So some cooking techniques that are really cool. So in Mexico, there are many ways to cook certain things. In modern days, people in Mexico still cook over open fires with cast iron pans. So some cooking techniques are they cook in cast iron pans on an open fire, and they say it gives it a better taste to the meat and whatever they're cooking. They fry certain things to get a really good tasty result for their foods, which can make it taste really good. And then they boil and simmer some vegetables and meat in a big pot. Which is interesting, by the end of the day, the meat will be falling apart and will be delicious. So those are some cool cooking techniques, and that is my presentation on my culture presentation on Mexico. This was a very fun project, and I really enjoyed doing it. Here are some of my sources that I got a lot of cooking techniques, popular foods, and all sort of stuff. So thank you.